Hey there, it's Elizabeth and welcome back to a Q&A vlog. So, I did receive numerous questions from you all. Thank you so much for your questions. Some of them were questions more about me and my life, I guess, and others were specifically about journaling. So I think this might be turning into what my vlogs might be about, is just a series of answering questions that you all have. Of course, I will always answer questions in the comments if you ever leave questions for me. I don't want to leave you hanging. But yeah, I think I'm going to just kind of keep a running list of the questions and then come on and do a vlog to answer them. So today I have my questions from a lovely YouTube friend of mine and Facebook friend, Dingley Delification, and I will leave her link below so that you can visit her channel. Love her work, love her work. And so yeah, I do actually put a little squeal out there when I see that she has popped up a new video. She is now also running a series called, I think she calls it her journaling journey, and she goes through her journals through the years. She's got loads of them and they're all gorgeous. So anyway, check her out. So today I am specifically going to be answering her questions because she sent me a list of about 10. And so yeah, let's just get started. And these aren't specifically about journaling either, so that's okay. So it's like a get to know me kind of thing. Okay, so let's get started. She asks me, do you enjoy reading? If so, which authors or genre? I do enjoy reading. I wish that I would make more time to read. And I don't really have a particular author that I like or a particular genre either. I don't think. I'll pretty much read anything. Well, I won't say anything, but I do like various types of books. So anyway, one of my favorite books that y'all probably know is called The Illustrated Man by Ray Bradbury. And I love that book so much. It's a book of it's a series of short stories, and it is from the sci-fi genre, of which I don't even like the sci-fi stuff, but I love this book. I just love it. I actually keep a copy of it, usually in my purse, because I can read it wherever we go, and I've read it so many times. So yeah, I love that book. Like I said, as far as authors go, not really anything specific. If when I do read for fun, I do really enjoy, which is the total opposite of the spectrum from Ray Bradbury's work. I really enjoy reading Amish fiction. So there's a story behind that too, but not for today. So yeah, I do enjoy Amish fiction. Okay, the second one is, why is homeschooling so popular in the US? It's very unusual thing. It is a very unusual thing here, but it seems to be pretty normal in the States, and the education system seems to recognize it as an option. Were you homeschooled? Why did you decide to homeschool? That might be a slightly longer answer. Okay, so why is homeschooling so popular in the US? I think it really depends on the state in which you live, and not only the state, but the city and county that you live in, because all school systems here in the States are different. I think, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, please, over like in the UK, they have like a national education system. So no matter where you go in the country, I believe, you're taught the same thing. Not so in the United States. Homeschooling where I live in the state of Florida happens to be a fairly lenient state on the rules for homeschooling. It's different in every state, and so yeah, it where I come from in the area that I live in, Sadly to say, in my opinion, oh, it's raining. Okay. Anyway, squirrel. Um, in my opinion, the schools are not that great. We do have wonderful teachers. There are some wonderful teachers out there, but yeah, the school system is not the best here where I live. So homeschooling is a choice here for us. And our homeschool community is fairly large. We have, oh gosh, now I don't even know. We have, I think, at least 5 different groups that I can think of right off the top of my head. There's probably more just in my small area. There's like 5 different homeschooling groups. We do various things. We have co-ops, all of that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's a pretty big thing down here. And I was also thinking too, I'm going to ask my kids and see if they want to do a collaboration kind of thing with me on their experience of homeschooling, because I homeschooled my kids from the very beginning. They never went to school until they attended college courses in their junior year of high school. So, and I mean, we did like co op where they were actually in a classroom setting being taught by a separate teacher. So, if you want to know more about homeschooling and how I did it, just leave comments down below and I will answer more specifically how we did it, what we did, and all that fun stuff. So, back to the question, and I could talk about homeschooling all day long. So, let's see what else. Oh, was I homeschooled? No, I was not homeschooled. I am a product of the public school system. And yeah, so no, I wasn't homeschooled. However, my husband's younger sisters were homeschooled. He has 4 sisters, and 3 out of the 4 were homeschooled either part of the way or all the way. So the sister that's my age, her parents pulled her out in high school and homeschooled her through the high school years. And then the 2 youngest sisters, which are, one is 12 years younger, I believe, and one is 14 years younger than my husband. So quite an age gap there. But yeah, they were both homeschooled from beginning to end. And I was involved in homeschooling indirectly before I even had kids. So I used to evaluate kids because I was a public school teacher myself. So I was certified here in the state in which I live. And so, yeah, I used to do school evaluations for homeschoolers, or I used to proctor their standardized testing, things like that. So, anyway, again, if you want to learn more about my homeschool experience, or if you want, my kids to get on here as well and discuss honestly their homeschool experience, I'd love to do that. So just let me know in the comments if you're interested in that. Why did I decide to homeschool? There are a lot of different reasons. Quite honestly, for me personally, we decided to homeschool before we ever even had kids. So some of that reasoning was because my sisters-in-law were homeschooled, and partly because I had taught in the public school system. And I felt that, in all honesty, I could do a better job. I know that sounds terrible, but yeah, I had experience in the public school system teaching, and I really did not like a lot of the things that I saw. And so, yeah, the other reason is because I could have the freedom to teach them what I wanted them to learn, what I thought was important. Another reason is because we could work at our own pace. Here in the state of Florida, the only rule is that you are learning at a level commensurate with your ability. That's all. In other words, you don't necessarily have to be on grade level. So it's more like ability grouped, And with my kids, with any kid really, you have different abilities. Kids have different aptitudes for various subjects. So like take for instance my daughter, she did really well in reading and literature, and so she was always ahead of the game or ahead of grade level. My son was as well. And in something like math, where she might have struggled a little bit more and needed a little bit more time with it, we were able to spend that time. So, and we always finished our subject matter at the end of the year, which is something they rarely do here in the public school system, from what I've seen. That's a whole different story. So, yeah, those are the reasons that I homeschooled, because we could teach what we wanted them to learn, and according to their ability. So that's why we did it. Um, let's see. What do you like best about yourself? Oh, I don't like that question, but I'll answer it. I think what I like best about myself goes back to teaching, I think. I think what I like best about myself is that I make learning fun. I try to anyway. So, yeah, I guess that would be what I like best about myself. And what would I like to change? Whoa, there are a lot of things I would like to change. Specifically, I would like to change probably my bad habits, which I'm not going to get into right now. But yeah, like I think like a lot of people, I would like to eat healthier. I would like to exercise more, things like that. So yeah, those are definitely things I would like to change. What's your biggest pet peeve? One of my biggest pet peeves is rudeness and just not being courteous. For instance, like if you're driving through like a shopping center parking lot and you stop to let somebody cross the way and they're busy, yammering on their phone, totally ignoring the fact that you did not just run their butt over, and not even a wave, thank you, nothing. That is probably my biggest pet peeve. What film could you watch over and over again and never get tired of? Well, I'm an 80s kid, so I would have to say The Breakfast Club. I love that movie. I could watch it over and over and over again. When I was in high school, I watched it over and over and over again. Let's see here. What are you afraid of? There aren't too many things I am afraid of, in all honesty. I think the thing that I'm most afraid of is something happening to my husband or my children. That's probably the thing that I'm most afraid of. Did you have any teenage celebrity crushes? No, I did not, that I can remember. I grew up in a time, and I'm not even very old. I mean, some of you might think I'm old. Yeah, I'm heading toward 50, but, but yeah, growing up, we didn't have cable TV. We didn't have, as a family, we didn't go to the movies very often. I think on our TV, we had about like 5 stations on our TV. We did not have magazines. I mean, we had like, the world had magazines, but my family didn't have magazines. So I didn't have any teenage crushes really. I don't think so. No. What art journal product would you like to own? Well, I think right now, I pretty much have everything that, that I need or want as far as journaling goes or art goes. And, I have a lot of stuff that I don't even use, art supplies and things like that, because I've kind of focused on the Fibonacci, and now I'm trying to do painted girls, so I have everything for all those things. So I guess, yeah, what art journal project? A big Xyron machine, I think. It's not really a machine. It's like a big sticker maker. I think that's what I would like. Most embarrassing moment. Well, I've had many embarrassing moments, but the one that I could think of when I read this question was I we were at the Opera House a few years ago, and I was in heels, which is a rarity, but I mean, come on, we were at the Opera House, so I had to get all dressed up. And I think we were seeing the Phantom of the Opera anyhow. When the opera ended, and of course we're going down this beautiful staircase, my heel caught on the carpeting and I went down. I luckily there was like no flashing underwear involved. That was a blessing. But I went down on my knee and I like rug burned it or scraped it or whatever. So yeah, so I ended up limping out of the opera hall on my husband's arm with my knee bleeding. So yeah, that was nice. That was fun. Yeah, I just do the weirdest things. I don't know. And I had a scar like forever from that thing. I mean, I remember the doctor months later, the doctor asking me about it because I still had the scar to this day. And that happened, I don't even know, like 3 years ago. To this day, I still have a scar. I don't know what it is with my skin or my body. I don't know if it's part of the condition I have. I don't know, but I bruise like a banana and I do not heal very quickly. Uh, and now I'm looking, see this thing right here, my arm. I got that, when was it? Just 2 days ago. I brushed up against a metal sculpture that is in our downstairs patio, and I walked by it and I kind of bumped into it. I was walking the dogs, or they were walking me, however you want to put it. And yeah, and I bumped into it and I was like, oh, darn, boy, that's going to bruise. I didn't even think anything of it. And so I got upstairs and I thought, well, it was metal. And I noticed, that I had like a few scrapes. So I washed it out with peroxide and all that kind of stuff. And then the next day I looked down and this is what it looks like. A big old bruise. I mean, it looks cry worthy. It wasn't cry worthy. I barely even noticed that I had done it until I had gotten upstairs and saw the two little scrapes, and now that's what I'm talking about. I don't know. I don't know what it is. And I'll probably have a freaking scar there for the next year. Ugh, I don't know what my problem is. Anyway, okay, last question because this is going on way too long. My next tattoo that I would like, I do have 5 different tattoos. They're nothing, I mean, they're special to me, but they're nothing like intricate or anything like that. I have one here on my wrist, I have one here on my wrist, I have one here on my arm, and I have 2 on my ankle. And then I would like to get 2 more, I think, and then I'll be done. One of them is a lotus. I would like to have a lotus put in the center of my upper back. And I haven't decided if I'm going to actually draw it out to take to the artist or leave it up to the artist to do a rendition for me. So I want to get that done. And I also love cherry blossoms. So I would like to get a branch of cherry blossoms on the top of my right foot and then going along the side of my foot and then up my ankle. That's what I would like to get. So those are the 2 tattoos that I would like to get. So anyhow, I will leave you there, and I will thank you, Dingley Delification, for your questions, and I hope you enjoyed this. And yeah, I will come back and I will answer more questions on the next Q&A. Stay tuned. Bye.